Hello everyone and welcome back to Hard Mode FTL. I'm Vince and we're about to get going here, continuing our little ship, the Bravais, heading into Sector 3. So this is attempt 2, episode 3. We're doing quite well as far as I remember. Let's check in with our ship here. Yeah, doing well. Just as a refresher, what we're trying to do right now is we need some more energy. Our reactor desperately needs an upgrade so we can start using this flak cannon. I can get it going if I really need to. I'm not necessarily gonna need the med bay, so I can get one there, and then I could turn off the engines or the oxygen to get that last little bit. And if I'm not using shields, like if they're just shooting with a bunch of missile weapons, I could just get it from shields. So we're sitting pretty good. We've got a couple of crystal weapons that pierce shields and the flak cannon in case they do have a lot of shields. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We're full health. Crew's looking good. So let's just get going and see what we can do with this sector. We are in an NG controlled sector, nice civilian sector. Which means we'll have a couple of stores, which aren't useful to us right now, because one of our priorities is the reactor, so we don't need a store for that, and we don't have that much scrap anyway. But let's see what we find here. So let's jump to this little beacon here, find out what we can find. Let's see what they have. They seem to have some kind of bomb and a laser. I'm not worried about the laser. The bomb could be problematic. Ooh. And they have an anti-combat drone. Ooh. Let's see. It destroys combat drones. I don't think that this thing can shoot down my crystals. My crystal weaponry. They do, however, have 2 shields. So we're going to be countering now in Sector 3 a lot more things with multiple layers of shields. So I'm going to have to coordinate a little bit on my crystal weaponry here, because I want this to fire first, the burst to fire first, because they only deal 1 damage each, and 2 of them get shot. So odds are they'll take down at least 1 shield, if not necessarily hit the ship itself, but they'll at least take down 1 shield. And if they do that, then I can hit with this hard hitter, the heavy crystal weapon, to really actually deal some damage. So I want this to shoot first, but notice that this thing just takes ever so slightly longer to charge than this one. So this one's going to charge and it's going to be ready, but I'm going to wait to fire it until this one's ready. Ooh, that's a burst. That's a dual laser. Oh, we're about to lose sensors. How do I feel about losing sensors? Not really that problematic. Oop, I should be paying attention to my weaponry as well. I'm not that worried about their weapons. Bombs, I don't think deal hull damage. They only deal system damage, which means it's not really going to hurt me. The laser can hurt me if it ever hits my hull, but I have 2 layers of shields, so I don't think that's going to happen either. So I'm not that worried about it. So let's focus on taking them out quickly. So let's just deal some damage. Let's just try to take out their shields, because if we take out at least 1 point of shields, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble, because then there's not a whole lot protecting them. Engines. Not great. Oh, there's a fire there. Okay. I'm glad I noticed it this time. I know that you can see, like, I can't see into there because my sensors are out, but you see this little fire symbol right down here. That means that there's a fire in there, so we're going to purge that system. Crew are not terribly good at taking out fires anyway, so we're just going to wait on that. Looks like this thing just fired, so let's follow that up. Oh, great. Fantastic. Oh, now we actually get to see, like, what's inside of there. No problem. Now let's keep going. Let's keep going. Don't want this to fire just yet. Actually, yes I do. Yes, I do want this to fire. Yeah, they've got 1 point of shield up, but that's not really going to hurt. Oh, this is bad. Okay, this is problematic, because now... Let's close this. Because now, if I start losing shields, then suddenly this laser is becomes a lot more dangerous. And those 2 shots are gonna hit me. I have no evade right now. So this is kind of bad. And I think I'm about to lose another point of shield. So this has suddenly gotten a lot worse. Okay, just hit me in the doors. That is okay. I'm trying to... Oh, there go my shields. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Fire the weapon. Take out their weapons. We can't have that anymore. Okay, I think our crystal... It's, you know, we hear the little alert going that our crystal crew member right here is taking a lot of damage, which is bad, but is currently acceptable, because I don't think it's going to kill him. Oh, they're surrendering. I'm tempted to accept that just because so they won't get another bomb off, but I just disabled their weapon system. So I don't think this is a particularly good offer at this point. I'm pretty sure in Sector 1 we got better offers than this, so no, we were not going to accept that. Oh, and we just blow them up right there. We're about to find out. Yeah, that's better. 12 scrap is what they offered us before, and like 1 fuel and something like that. This is better. So glad we did that. Took more damage than I would have liked. I thought we could, you know, get out of that one without taking any damage. That was not the case. It was not the case, but it's not too bad. The bombs that they send over, they seem bad because they'll explode and you'll see a bunch of numbers come up, and it'll look worse than it really is because they don't do hull damage. You notice when they took that out, it didn't really do hull damage. All the hull damage was from fire and from the laser, because the fire took out a point of shields and then the laser hit us in the doors. So that's where all the damage came from. The bomb didn't have anything to do with that. We do, however, now has 30 scrap, and alright, I'm just gonna check. I just want to check to make sure that, yeah, there's no store. I've learned this. Check to see if there's a store that you want to go to first before spending scrap. Because now we have an extra point of power that we can use. We don't need this, and now we have a flak cannon. And now we're suddenly a lot more dangerous. In that fight, I really didn't... With the bomb being the only threatening thing, the evade was more useful to me, even if it isn't very much, than a flak cannon. But now we don't have to choose. Now we can do both. We're a lot more dangerous now. Alright. An unusually well-armed NG ship. Intruder on deck. Oh, no, not this one. Okay, alright, so... Yeah. This is damned if you do, damned if you don't. So there's an Mantis on my ship, and he's apparently in bad shape, or looks to be in bad shape, and you have a choice. Do you want to side with the Mantis ship or the NG pursuing him? And both of these can go wrong. There is no right answer here. If you side with the fugitive, sometimes it's a trap and he'll damage your hull and then you have to fight the NG anyway. So they just tricked you if you side with the fugitive. If you agree to offer up the Mantis, on the other hand, sometimes the Mantis goes crazy and kills one of your crew. So you might just lose a crew. And losing a crew is pretty terrible, especially since I have valuable crystal crew members. So I'm going to side with the fugitive because I feel like worst case scenario it'll do some damage to my ship, which isn't great, but I feel like losing a crew member is worse. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Like, oh, it was a trap. I knew it was a trap. See, I always hate this one because there's no way to do it perfectly. It could have gone well. It didn't. It did not go on. It was the weapons too. Well, you remember how I was saying that, you know, now we're dangerous, we have a flak cannon? Well, not anymore. And I think these are just anti-drone, so we don't need to worry about those. Oh, defense drone Mark II shoots down any projectiles. What are you? Enemy anti-combat drone. Okay, this one's a problem. This will actually shoot down my crystal shards, which means if this shoots down a crystal shard, we're only hitting with 2 of them. I'm still gonna take a shot with these. Ideally, I'd want to shoot the flak cannon and all of this stuff at once, but that's not really an option right now. So I'm gonna just coordinate these 2 shots. And they can't really hurt me otherwise. Actually, they can't really hurt me at all. They've got a heavy laser and a pike beam. And that heavy laser is going to take down one section of shields, and then the pike beam won't be able to pierce the other layer of shields. So don't really need that. Not really worried about that. What the heck is that? Oh, does this shoot down a... Oh wait, that shoots down the projectiles. This is just a combat drone. Oh, those were like on top of each other. See, I was going to say like that. I thought they were supposed to look different. Alright, they've just got a lot of defensive drones, and this is the only one we got to worry about, because that's going to shoot down my crystal projectiles. But once I get the flak cannon up and going, they're pretty screwed, because they're not going to be able to really do a whole lot about all these projectiles. Alright, we're just going to wait. There we go. Okay, so we actually just hit one of their drones. We didn't hit the drone I'd like to hit, but we hit a drone. So that's almost kind of funny. I always find it kind of funny when like a projectile hits a drone, because there's no way of targeting these guys. You can't like get your ships to fire on these, so you have to be lucky or unlucky depending on what you're going for to hit a drone. So now we're just gonna wait. All right, now we can get the flak cannon up and going, and we're gonna do that again. We're gonna give that another try, and who knows, maybe we'll hit the defense drone. All right, see, we got a shot in, so that's good. That's great. They can't really hurt me. Normally, I would say, you know, don't fire the flak cannon. The correct thing to make this go faster, I think, is if you don't fire the flak cannon and just do all 3 of these at once, then that's going to give you the maximum impact. That's going to give you the maximum damage. But because they can't hurt me, I actually don't mind this being kind of inefficient. That's just going to give experience to my weapons guy. The more stuff he's firing, the better. So that's really fine. So like I said, the smart thing to do is to fire them all at once. That would be the correct thing to do, I think. But I'm just going to fire all at once. I just heard a hull breach. Actually, I find that kind of interesting about this game, that there's stuff that you can't see. Like if your sensors go off, you can't see into the ship, but you can still hear things going on. Like for instance, that hull breach, it just made that whooshing noise. Or like fire. Fire is a good one to be able to hear, because if it's in a room with a system, you'll get a little symbol alerting you that there's fire. But if there's fire in, say, a systemless room, you can still hear the sort of burning embers kind of sound to alert you that there's a fire on your ship, which I think is actually kind of cool. That I don't think there's a lot of games that really do that, give you information like that through sound. Unless you're talking about like a horror game or something like that. So I think that's a nice touch. It's a nice little thing. All right, well let's keep going. We got some scrap there. That was a relative. That was an easy fight because they couldn't hurt us. After, of course, they did 5 points of damage to us just for free. All right. I don't really see any point in going in this one. There's so many beacons around here that I think we're gonna have plenty of beacons to go to. Before the rebels catch up. So if there weren't nearly as many beacons here, I'd go to this one first and then jump around this way just to maximize the number of beacons I get to. But that would kind of lock me into a path, because if I go here, these are the only 2 options. While if I go here, I have like 3 options, and then I have more options as I go forward. I'll be able to look around a little bit to see if like there's a distress beacon or a store. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up here. There's no need to sort of 100% maximize the number of beacons I can go to, because I have lots of choices. Alright, we've got a rebel fighter here. They've got, is that a charge? Yeah. So this is a charge laser, which if you haven't seen those before, they can be either extremely dangerous or extremely not, depending on how they're used. If they charge them up to full, that's potentially 4 blasts coming at me, that's not great. That's in fact kind of crap. But if they just shoot it like 1 or 2 at a time, then they can't do much to me. So this can be either really dangerous or really not, depending on how they use it. And the downside for charge beams, charge lasers like this, is that it does take a while to get to that really dangerous level. I think they charge in like 5 or 6 seconds. So hopefully we'll actually be able to disable it before that happens. And of course, it loses all the charges if I disable the weapons. That's the other danger. If you're ever using these, be careful with your weapon system, because if you've charged it fully, or if you're about to charge it fully and you're about to unleash, just hell on them, but your system gets disabled, you're going to lose all the charges. So watch out for that. Alright, so I think the way I'm going to do this is that this flat cannon actually charges pretty quick. I said the flat cannon one wasn't that great, but looking at this now, I think it might be. It might actually be better than the crystal, because it charges a lot quicker, which that's nice. That's a nice thing. Alright, we're going to fire the flak. Then we're going to fire these crystals, and then we're just going to follow it up with that and see what we can do. That's actually still kind of far away from firing. Alright, we'll see what happens. Alright, good. That's fantastic. Yeah, that actually went really well. We disabled the only thing I was potentially worried about, so. Now I think we're sitting pretty. Okay, I shouldn't actually have done that. I should have waited to fire this flat cannon. I'm going to wait to fire the next volley. And, that missed. Okay, don't fire that. We're going to aim for their shields, actually, is what we're going to do now. Alright, we're going to wait to fire the flat cannon. We're going to wait for the flat cannon. We're going to start off with the flat cannon, which will hopefully take down some shield. And then we're going to follow it with these crystals. Okay, good. I heard a hull breach again. Like I was just saying, those little sound cues tell you what's going on, even on the enemy ship. To be perfectly honest, how do I hear that? I'm assuming when it's on my ship, it's kind of like, well, my crew hears it. They hear that there's a fire in the next room. But on their ship, I don't know how I'm hearing that. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna wait on that one. Do I think I'm gonna be able to get that in time? No, I don't think so. Alright, we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait a second. Yeah, that was the correct thing to do. Alright, we're gonna wait for the flak to go. And follow it up with one of these. And yeah, take down their shields a little bit. Perfect. Now that they only have one shield, my crystal weapons aren't inhibited at all. Free fire. And there goes their other weapon. Yeah, now they're in real trouble here. That's an interesting offer. If I was using missiles, I'd actually think about it, but that's not very much scrap. You'll notice that offers to surrender usually come with a lot of missiles, drone parts, and or fuel. They usually give you a lot of that, because when you blow up the ship, presumably the missiles and fuel blow up, and so do the drone parts, so there's not a whole lot of that left. But it doesn't give you, they never offer you a whole lot of scrap. So, and since scrap is what I want, I will not be accepting this offer. Also, they're horribly screwed, so there's no real downside. The shields are down. Yeah, this is pretty much gonna take him out. Yeah, that's what I thought. It could have missed, but actually, we got a fair bit of fuel there for that, and more scrap, of course. They were offering me 10 scrap. Now I got 22, so that's a lot better. So yeah, we've got a bit of that. Let's see. There's no store yet. Alright, so I think I'm pretty reliably going to be using these 3 weapons. I don't think I'm going to be turning them off, which means that I'm going to do this. Get that extra reactor upgrade, put it into engines, and now we're sitting at 22 evasion, which is not great by any means, but hey, if it means missing 1 missile, means 1 less devastating attack to my ship, I'm all for it. So again, like I said, we've got a lot of options here. Normally I would probably go to this one, but I think I'm going to go to this one instead, just to see what's coming up, and then meander a little bit. Also, it's kind of good to stay ahead of the rebel fleet, because there are a couple of beacons where, you know, if a ship gets away, usually it means double jump from the rebels, which means that you might have plenty of time when you get there, but then after something goes wrong and the fleet fleet speed doubles, you're suddenly out of time. So being ahead of the fleet is not a bad thing. Alright, let's inquire about their specialty. These are usually pretty good. Usually they offer you things at a discount. Sometimes their reactor upgrades are not actually that great. I've seen like a reactor upgrade being offered for like 21 scrap or something like that, when I could have just upgraded it for 20 myself. So these are not always a good deal, but like 9 times out of 10 they are a good deal. Now they're offering to upgrade my oxygen system, which I'm just going to decline on because I do not need extra oxygen. Upgrading your oxygen just allows you to re-oxygenate your ship a lot quicker, which, to be perfectly honest, is sometimes critical depending on what your enemy does. I know when a hacking drone hacks the oxygen room, they'll start whenever they activate their hacking drone, they will drain all the oxygen out of all the rooms, and it'll go down quite a bit. And then those are situations where having better oxygen could actually be really useful, because I think given enough time, hacking drone on your oxygen will just kill your entire crew. Given enough time, it will deoxygenate everything and just deal a bunch of damage to your crew and could potentially kill them. So that's actually really dangerous, and the one way to prevent something like that from happening is by having 2 points in oxygen. I can't really think of a reason to have 3 points in oxygen, but 2 points potentially could be useful. Alright, still haven't found any stores, which is fine, we don't need them. I'm just a little bit surprised. Now we're going to meander a little bit. I'm going to see about here. Oh, by the way, this is just good practice in general. Always check the exit beacon. See what it actually connects to. This is a really well-connected exit beacon. This is not an issue in this sector. But in other sectors, I have seen it where the exit beacon looks like it should be connected to like a bunch of the beacons around it, but isn't. Like, for instance, in this one, I've seen sectors where it's just like, oh yeah, I'll be able to get the exit beacon from all of these, and then actually look at the exit beacon and realize it's only connected like in the back here, and you have to be down here, and you have to go through like a really long roundabout route to get there, and I realized too late, and now I'm in rebel territory. So make sure that doesn't happen to you. But yeah, I'm gonna go here, because that is not the case. The exit beacon's well connected, so we don't need to worry about that. Nothing really. Ooh, distress beacon. Like I said, I like distress beacons. I feel like they tend to be more interesting beyond just a regular fight, and there's a lot of conflicts that happen at distress beacons. Like that beacon I was just at, nothing happened. At distress beacons, I feel like always something happens. It's somebody who needs help. So they're asking for 2 fuel, which I have 22 fuel. I'm totally going to give that to them because they almost always reward you. Alright, so you give them the fuel, and they gave me a breach missile, which, as far as I remember, breach missiles aren't actually that great. Yeah, because they take 3 energy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this thing. It requires 3 power. It takes 22 seconds to charge, but it deals 4 damage. And it's got a high breach chance, so it'll do a lot of damage to whatever room it hits. It'll kind of destroy that room. But 22 seconds is not a very quick turnaround time. If that's the longest. Yeah, I could literally get more two flak shots and a little bit off before this thing even fires once. So that's really not that great. I'm probably going to sell that. I prefer my missiles to be cheap. I kind of use them very sparingly, and this thing seems to be more of a damage type weapon. So I tend not to use missiles for that. I try to use them, take out like critical systems with it, with very targeted shots. That's what I use missiles for. I don't really use them to deal damage to the enemy ship. That's what my other weapons are for. So, and I don't think this is the most efficient way to just do those kind of targeted shots. So I'm probably not going to be going for that. Alright, let's go down here. explore that area of the galaxy. Alright, it's a forward scout. If it's a scout ship, they quite often try to just jump away. Yup, just like that. So he's going to try to get away. His weapons don't really worry me. He might have a drone that could be problematic. Wait, why did I say the weapons don't worry me? Yeah, of course this worries me. It's a missile launcher. It's going to hit me and it's going to be awful. So, yeah, I should be worried about that. Let's see. Alright, he's got a fire beam drone and just a regular beam drone. Fire beams, I'm kind of ambivalent about. Simply because they either do a whole lot or not very much at all. Like, setting fires is bad and all, but take like a Lanius ship, for instance, which has no air in it. Well, it's not really going to do anything to that. It can be countered relatively easily by just deoxygenating your ship. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I think our strategy is going to be take out the FTL as soon as we can. Take out their engines. So they can't get away, because the fleet is going to double jump if they get away. Which is not great. It really would be fine, but it's not great. If we can avoid it, that's bad. Okay, there goes our flak. We're going to have to rely on these to get the job done. Alright, let's do this. We're going to wait for that, for the first volley, and then we're going to follow it up with this one. And we hit it a bunch, but we noticed we didn't stop their FTL. They are still charging, and they're going to be repairing that right now. So they might get away, because I didn't really delay them at all right now. Which is a pity. I really hate it when an enemy ship can just get away, because that's scrap you're not getting. That's a bunch of rewards you're just not getting, and you're kind of getting damaged here for nothing, is what the end result of that would be. But that missed, so that's nice. Oh, I need to follow that up immediately. Let's go. Alright. Again, I hit it a bunch now, but didn't stop their FTL. So I think we can pretty safely say that they're gonna get away at this point. I honestly thought that I could stop them. Yeah, there's jump imminent. Let's fire at them one more time, just because you rebel bastards. Took up my flak cannon anyway. All right, they're gone. Yeah, so the enemy fleet's going to be a lot faster now. It's going to double jump, which means that's one less beacon we can go to, which, again, I'm not happy about. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think there was a whole lot we could have done about that. We did our best. We just did not get lucky enough. They took out my weapons. That was a good job on their part, really. They took up my weapons, so I couldn't effectively slow them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to here and then just hang out in this area until I need to jump out of here. Because yeah, there's no really reason not to, because this exit is connected to all of these, so we can leave sort of whenever we want. Whenever it looks like the fleet's going to get here, time to jump. Do they only have 2 ion weapons? No, they do not. They have a lot more. That was just kind of hidden there. I was like, oh, 2 ion weapons. This is going to be the easiest fight ever. No, not the case. Okay, I should really have read whatever it said there, because I just noticed they somehow disabled a point of my engines, which I'm not happy about. But we're going to make do. They only have 1 point of shields. So I'm gonna get the flak cannon to just shoot. We're just gonna open season on their weapons, because my flak cannon is the only thing that's really inhibited by the fact that they have shields. All their other stuff, all my other weapons aren't inhibited at all by the fact that they have shields. Wow, this went really well. Yeah, that was fantastic. Okay, great. That's 20 free scrap as far as I'm concerned. That went well. Yeah. Let's move on. All right. I'm pretty sure that we can make it to the exit beacon after one more jump. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be like right around here, so we're going to go one more jump, then exit beacon. And then we're done with Sector 3. This sector really wasn't that bad. Really, the more free stuff. As if to punctuate that sentence. This sector was not that bad. Hey, 19 free scrap. Yeah, this sector really wasn't that bad. The only bad thing that really happened to us is the 5 points of hull damage we took from that stupid mantis. But you know what? I definitely prefer taking the 5 hull damage to losing a crew member at this point. I feel like I like having all my crew. I think the shields guy is probably the least important. Me harping on the shield guy again. But yeah, the shield guy is probably the least important. Excuse me, it's probably the least important. But I really like having that extra crew member to go put out fires. Sometimes literally. Just having that extra crew member to go help out in case something goes wrong. Fix the oxygen if it breaks. You know, stuff like that. It's really nice to have that extra crew member for that so you don't have to take your guy off engines or your guy off, definitely not the pilot. I mean, the weapons guy potentially is another candidate for fix things guy, but he's all the way over here. Which means that if the oxygen breaks, and don't forget, crystal guys are slow, it'll take them a while to get there, and then take a while to get back, so that's kind of seems like a bad way to do it. Alright, so yeah, I was right, the rebel fleet's right here, and now it's time to go to the exit beacon, because the next jump, they are definitely, most definitely going to be at the exit beacon. Alright, let's see what we have. Being looked in the Civil Star system. In nearby colony constant, we've got a rogue rebel ship harassing the system. Now, I've done this before, where you go looking for the rebel ship, and sometimes you waste time looking for the rebel ship, and it doubles the fleet jump, the rebel fleet jump looking for you. And we don't have to worry about that. We are at the exit beacon. Our next jump is out of the system no matter what. So the fact that there's a danger, a risk of double fleet jump doesn't worry me. And if we do find it, that's another ship we can fight. Alright, perfect. Alright, we find another ship. They have a missile weapon and they have a what I think is a basic laser, though I think at this point it really could be a burst laser. It is not. That's a basic laser. And they have an anti-combat drone. Destroy your... Yeah, it just gets rid of combat drones. Yeah, a lot of these going around. I'm not really sure if they were expecting me to come up with a lot of combat drones or something like that. But no, this is all fine. They can't hurt me with... Uh-oh. I didn't see them fire that. That's bad. That's a boarding drone. Those are really bad. So what boarding drones, which you'll see in a moment, is first of all, it's a guaranteed hull breach, that's just crap. Wherever it hits, it's going to breach the hull. And then there's this combat drone who is a really tough fighter. Actually, I don't know how much health they have. I would suspect it's something like 200 or something stupid. So this thing's a problem. This thing's a problem, and this thing's a problem. This is going to be a tough fight. Let's see how it goes. Alright, hits me right in piloting, which I'm going to get my crystal guy here to help out. So hopefully they'll be able to deal some damage to it. We'll see how this goes. And there comes the missile. We'll see what that does. Oh, the missile missed. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, because now, we're gonna fire flak, and then we're gonna fire that, and on top of that, we're gonna fire. Ooh, if I could disable the. Do I want to disable the drone or the missile first? I feel like the drone we can probably handle. And I really don't want them firing a second drone. If you destroy their drone, eventually they will just fire another drone at you, and that's another hull breach and another headache I don't want to deal with. I feel like the missile is more important to take out right now. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, great. Yeah, we just took out their entire weapon system. I was worried a little bit that we'd only damage the weapon system, and then if they're smart, they'll take out just the basic laser and leave the missiles. But no, we took it out completely, so we're sitting pretty good right now. Yeah, we're gonna let that fire, because they only have 1 point of shields. Oh! I need to pay attention. Run out of there. Whew. Okay, yeah, you go in there. Yep, you go in there. All right, they're not shooting at me right now, so I'm gonna turn that on. The crystal guy will be able to handle this and hopefully be able to fix the breach, because he takes reduced suffocation damage. I'm beginning more and more to appreciate the fact that Crystal crew members take reduced suffocation damage. There's quite often when you do not have air. Wow, that's a lot of missiles. They're offering me seven missiles to leave them alone. If I was using missiles at all, I would seriously consider that, because that is a lot. Still only 12 scrap though, which is... This is a pretty dang good offer. The fuel, the missiles, kind of make it worthwhile. But again, I'm not using missiles right now. And I have 22 anyway. Which means that even if I was using missiles, I kind of have a lot right now anyway. So, no, we're not going to accept surrender. Also, you're scumbag rebels. So, yeah, of course, maybe... Now they've got their missile up and running again, so maybe this isn't going to turn out the best, but we'll see. We will see. If this hits, which it did, yeah, okay. So that worked out fine. 24, that's literally twice the scrap, but not nearly as many missiles. We still get some, though, and no fuel. The fuel is the only part of that I could have really used, and of course that's the part we didn't get. Alright, you fixed that. Alright, so Crystal crew member, yeah, he fixed that breach, which is fine, that's great. You can get back in there. Now we just gotta wait for T10? T10? Not sure how to pronounce that. T10 for a Crystal guy to be healed, and once he's healed, we're still actually in great shape. This sector was not that bad at all. I feel like we've had worse. Overall, I think this run is going pretty well. And, ooh, Mantis controlled. I don't particularly like Mantis controlled, because Mantises, they love to teleport onto your ship. That is because they're good fighters. They deal a lot of damage. I think they deal 50% extra damage. Just like NG deal 50% damage less, Mantises deal 50% damage more. They only have 100 health, though. So they can be overwhelmed. They're not invincible. What I'm going to be doing in this sector, more likely than not, is I'm going to be upgrading my my door system. My door system needs an upgrade because Mantises will teleport on my ship, and I prefer to fight Mantises through asphyxiation. Just deoxygenate the rooms they're in, and you know, like the way my set, with no door upgrade, they can just waltz through my ship. There's nothing stopping them. You know, they can get to any room they want to. So there's no point in deoxygenating rooms because they can just leave. However, if you upgrade the door system, especially if you upgrade it twice or upgrade it once and have a guy sitting in here, then it suddenly becomes a more than viable strategy and becomes very efficient to kill things through asphyxiation, because it takes them so long just to get through here. Like if they were to teleport into here and I open up these doors, that room will empty of oxygen really quickly, and they're gonna have to burrow their way through here and then to get to there, or through here to get to there. They'll be dead before they even reach any systems or crew. So door system, I think, is going to be critical. In fact, I'm going to upgrade that right now. Instead of just talking about it, yeah, there we go, done. Door system, that was critical, I think, getting at least that one upgrade. And I made sure I checked to see if there's no store around that I may want to visit. Yeah, that door system, I think that upgrade was critical. I think that's going to really come into play here. And this is where we stand now at the beginning of Sector 4. We've got plenty of health, really. That's like 20 health, I think. I think this is out of 30, with each step being 10. I think. I'm not 100% on that. I could count that up, but I don't feel like it. So we've got a decent amount of health. We're still in the green, which is great. Still, I got all of our crew, and we've got some decent weapons. With that flak cannon, I think that flak gun, we're a lot more dangerous than we were before, and we're not going to necessarily need more weapons. Now, I'd like to have better weapons, because I think these weapons, they're going to be struggling quite a bit with like 3 shields. So better weapons would still be nice to have, especially like a nice missile that's cheap on the energy consumption, or a bomb or something. Maybe an ion weapon of some kind. So we're still hoping for that. But aside from that, I think we're looking really good. So hopefully you enjoyed the run up to now, and next time we'll be back with Sector 4, a Mantis space, and we'll see how that goes. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.